Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Exotic Astrology. Different setting today. There is some issue in my apartment. The power supply is not working properly, so it's pitch dark, and I'm making the video in the night. All right. So many of you have told me regarding this Ketu's transit, which is happening in the Gandanta zone, which is dark like my room. So Gandanta zone is the last degree of a water sign and the first degree of a fire sign. So as you know, Ketu is currently hovering around in the first degree of Sagittarius, and it is going to enter the 30th, the 29th, the last degree of Scorpio. So there you go. This is a Gandanta zone. And what does Gandanta mean basically? Gandanta means that un they say no, there's a word which is used in the scriptures. I'm not able to recall it exactly, but something which ends and new things begin actually. Now, for Rahu Ketu, it functions in a very peculiar way because generally, what is Gandanta actually? You go from a water sign to a fire sign. So, water signs can show endings and fire signs can show creation. But because Rahu Ketu is retrograde always, so because of that, what happens is they first go to they're first in the fire sign and then they go to the water sign. So it's very peculiar. It's like saying something which you have made you destroy, or how is it like? It's very peculiar. Because for something new to be created, you have to destroy something, right? That's what happens when it goes from water to fire. Fire shows creation basically, and water can also show sustenance sometimes, but it can also show destruction at times. And fire can also show destruction at times because fire shows purification basically. Okay, so therefore, Gandanta planets, if you want to understand during transit, the best way to understand this is by the word tapasya, which is austerity, purification. So, therefore, it's very important that we discipline our lives during these periods actually when Ketu is in Gandanta. And roughly for, I would say, in my opinion, for the next 1.5 to 2 months, you will still be feeling these effects of Gandanta. And of course, Venus will also be in Gandanta after some time, maybe after around 18 days or so, because it will go from Cancer to Leo, which is another Gandanta zone. And yeah, so then also you will feel this. Okay, mostly by the end of this month, Venus would have entered Leo. Okay, so the thing is, when planets go to Gandanta zone, then you will realize that there are certain things which it's like Gandanta is also known as, shedding of the skin of the snake, and because Rahu Ketu represents the snake, so therefore it's like the skin of the snake is shedding. Okay, what does this mean? This means that on the negative side, I will tell on the positive side also. But first, on the negative side, it means if you have been pretending something to somebody, pretending to be someone, or pretending in some area of your life, then now you are going to be exposed totally. All your lies and all your cheating propensities will be exposed actually, and all the crap that you have done will come to the surface now. All right, because the skin of the snake is now shedding. And on the positive side, how this can manifest is, if you have been trying to do so many things, you have tried a lot, and as they say, every next version of your life will demand a different version of you. So on the positive side, it can be very good. Wherever Scorpio Sagittarius is in your horoscope, and which dashas you are running, depending on the Antar Dasha, Mahadasha, and Pratyantar. If you know that there is something which you have to give up and go to the next level, then this is the best time that you can do it. And the Scorpio Sagittarius Gandanta is a very powerful Gandanta, because Scorpio is the most sinful of all the zodiac signs. Scorpio. It's the 12th from the ninth house. Okay, Scorpio is the prime zodiac which indicates sins, all the sinful propensities, sinful desires, sinful tendencies, propensity to do adharma. That is what Scorpio is, because it is the 12th from the sign of Sagittarius, which is the sign of dharma. Okay, so adharma is seen from the sign of Scorpio. So therefore, when Ketu, the planet of spirituality, is transiting in this Gandanta zone, it is a very good opportunity for you to keep an eye on your anarthas. Actually, what kind of anarthas do you have? Like primarily we have, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, lust, anger, greed, envy, pride, delusion. These six anarthas which pull us down, actually, which force us to do things which are not recommended by the scriptures, or which are prohibited by the scriptures. Why do scriptures prohibit certain things? Because of our own good, actually. Okay, so for example, meat eating is prohibited in the scriptures. The Srimad Bhagavatam does not recommend eating meat. Why? Because when you are eating meat, what happens? You are depriving another living entity from his right to be free. Okay, so scriptures say one who has not given life cannot take life, actually. Okay, so one who indulges in meat eating will have horrendous suffering in this life or in the next. But many people are not able to control themselves. They are like helpless animals. They are eating other animals, right? And they will use so many justifications and so many other things like wine, or gambling and all this, and watching adult material in the internet, flirting and going around like dogs after the opposite sex. This is how people are ruining their lives in Kali Yuga, most of them, actually. So the thing is, during this period, it's a very good opportunity for us to look deep down inside and see which are the anarthas that we are struggling. Okay, and depending on our anarthas, we can read different sections from the Srimad Bhagavatam. So, for example, if you are too much lusty like dogs, then you can read Srimad Bhagavatam's Ajamil pastime. Okay, now that's very much recommended, because Ajamila was also lusty like a dog after a prostitute, and then he ruined his life, basically. All right. So yeah, so Ajamila Upakhyan is very good. Then if you feel you are suffering from too much arrogance or pride, if you think you are the center of the universe, and everything rotates and revolves around you, and everybody should obey you, everybody should believe what you believe, or whimsically you are just doing whatever you want, then you should read the seventh canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, which contains the pastime of Prahlad Maharaj and Narsinghdev, because Hiranyakashipu indicates pride, actually. Okay, and yeah, so lust, then anger. If you are feeling that you are too much angry all the time, you can read about the pastime of Dantavakra and Krishna, how Krishna ripped apart this wicked demon called Dantavakra. Okay, and you can also read the Ramayana if you are interested to know how to give up lust and all this, because Ravana was also running like dogs behind other ladies, and he ruined his life, basically. Okay, Surpanakha also always running behind other men, running behind Ram, running behind Lakshman. And then what happened? She ended up ruining her entire life, her entire dynasty, the entire generation. The Rakshas Vansh, it just ended, except Vibhishan. Luckily, he was remaining. So these two are very good examples, brother, sisters, brother, as they say, birds of same feather flock together. So they were like always together, Ravana and Supanakha. So these crooks actually tell us how not to be, right? And another example is from the Mahabharata, Duryodhana and company. So Duryodhana, he believed that that kingdom which was never his was his actually, okay, and that is why he ended up ruining his entire life and his entire dynasty. So therefore, this Gandhara transit is very important for it gives us very good opportunities, because now our weaknesses will be exposed, and we if we do not take shelter in the name of God, the holy name of God, as Srimad Bhagavatam says, Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranamo Dukkha Samanas Tvam Namami Harim Param. That is the Yuga Dharma for Kali Yuga, chanting the names of Lord Vishnu. So reading the Srimad Bhagavatam, all right. So if and associating with saintly people, with the sadhus, especially in the weekends, if possible. So if we do not do all this, and we are just hovering around and doing absolutely nothing in our spiritual life, then during this time it can happen that we behave in ways uh, because of which other people do not want to stay with us. Other people will feel that we have been dragged like helpless animals, towards something which we should not be ideally. Okay, so therefore, don't live like animals. Let's live like civilized human beings. And what makes a human being civilized? One who does spiritual practices. So if a person does not do spiritual practices, he is known as Dvipada Pashu, two-legged animal. So there is no difference between a dog and a human being who does not do any spiritual practices. Okay, so therefore, do not live the life of cats and dogs. Be like human beings. Human being is one who does higher inquiry, and many people don't like to hear this. They will get angry when they will say that, oh, why are you insulting animals and dogs? No, I mean not insulting them. I am telling you that you are very privileged to inquire about God. A cat or a spider or a mouse or a dog or an elephant cannot inquire about God. You will never hear you'll never hear a cat or a dog discussing about Ekadashi or Janmashtami, or Ekadashi fasting or something. Never. You will never hear them. It's not possible. Only a human being is bestowed with special intelligence to understand the signs of God. So this is where we should primarily focus in our spiritual life. Okay, so in the morning you should set aside some time to do spiritual practices. Okay, because otherwise if you don't do that, then we are like animals, or sometimes even worse than animals, as they say. No? Sometimes they say, oh, look what he has done. Even animals don't do like this. Yes, they say like this sometimes. So anyways, the point of this video is that if you do not take shelter of God and do spiritual practices, read the Gita, read the Srimad Bhagavatam, or you can also read the Bible or the Quran, whichever religious tradition you belong to, or you are inspired by, or you identify with, any bona fide religion that will help you to get above these anarthas, and they will help you to cross over this material existence. Okay, otherwise this material existence is like my room. It's very dark, you see. We are so helpless, you see, in this world. We can't do anything. Our situation is so pathetic. Anytime anything can happen. Look what happened in this year, coronavirus, and it just wiped off everybody. So many people have died. Whatever it is, many people die of accidents. Some die of diabetes, high blood pressure, whatever. People are always dying. All right. Anyways, thank you very much for your patience, and wish you good luck. If you are new, then please subscribe to my channel, and for consultations you will find my website below. Okay, God is there with you all the time. Just look to him and you will find him. See you from light next day.